Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Rottler Pest Solutions webinar series. Today, we're going to be talking about prepping for occasional invaders. The outline for this presentation, we're going to kind of line out what these pests are, why are they here, what are some of the hazards, and then what are some tricks to get rid of them. Here's our usual suspects at Rottler. These are our top four. There are some other occasional invaders out there, but these are the ones that typically cause, most of our customers the biggest problems. So you have Asian lady beetles or ladybugs. You have the brown marmorated stink bug, which is the second one here. You have cluster flies. And the easiest way to kind of look at them or identify them is the golden hairs they kind of have across their thorax. They're also really slow. You can almost touch them with your finger if you go up and try to grab them. The other one is the box elder bug. This is one that, they accumulate in large numbers and can kind of be a nuisance as well. So the big one that we're dealing with right now that I think is really causing a lot of our customers problems are the brown marmorated stink bugs. As you can see in the picture here, there are multiple life cycles of this insect. We call these instars, and they kind of start taking on more of what they look like as an adult as they migrate through this life cycle. So the unfortunate part of this pest is it's typically an agricultural pest during the warmer months of the year. So summertime, these insects have a kind of a sucking mouth part that you can see in this picture here. They're sitting on an apple here, and they're literally drawing juice out of the apple, which causes the fruit to actually bruise. The unfortunate part of that is it makes it very hard for the farmers and the grocery stores to sell this product after this insect has basically, turned it into Swiss cheese. They've become more of a nuisance pest during the cooler months of the year. And what they're doing is they're seeking out a place to basically live. So as our temperatures kind of drop, they do start migrating towards the homes. So how did they get here? Some of these nuisance pests. Some of these pests are actually brought in, like the Asian lady beetle was actually brought in from other parts of the world to control pests on our plants. So ladybugs are really good at controlling like aphid problems. That's another plant pest that pierces the tissue of the plant and draws all the good juices out of it and potentially makes it, unpresentable or cosmetically damaged. Most of the time it doesn't kill the plant, but that's what they were brought here for. Now, the brown marmorated stink bug, it basically hitchhiked here. So you can see the cargo ship here in the corner. They ship all kinds of different landscaping products to outdoor furniture. And basically these things just hitchhiked. Well, once they got in the US, they did very well. It was mid-90s, I believe, that they came into the US, but I believe they can be found in a large portion of the country, and obviously on the agricultural side, that's what the big problem is with them as far as that goes. So nuisance pests, the occasional invader group, they become a problem for us in the fall when they start migrating to our customers' homes. You can see the clusters of these things here. Even same thing with the cluster fly here. They migrate to the warmer portions of the house. So, we're kind of going through those temperatures at night, getting into the 40s and 50s, and that kind of sets an alarm off with these guys to go find that place that they're going to overwinter. Usually you'll start seeing the activity on the outside of the house, usually the sunny side of the house. But what they try to do is find a void and get in there and hang on and survive the winter. Some of the hazards of these pests, first and foremost, the plant damage that they have out there. They pierce the tissue, they pierce the fruit, and it makes it undesirable, unpleasant to obviously eat. The other thing that can happen with a few of these different pests is that when they gather in large numbers, they put off a number of different pheromones. In the case of the stink bug, hence their name, stink bug, they actually emit an odor that's defensive towards other things that might try to consume them, like a bird or other pests that are out there that consume insects. They basically, they can actually bite you if you grab onto them, or in the case of the stink bug, pierce you. So that stink bug has kind of a hypodermic needle that they plunge in, and if you grab onto them, they can actually pierce your tissue. The lady beetles can actually bite you, and you can actually feel it. So those are some things to watch out for if you're going to kind of try to grab one of these things. So with the case of the box elder bug, those red ones that were in the beginning picture, if you smash them, obviously that red stain that they have can stain your tapestries or your curtains, your paint on your walls, and it's very difficult to get off. So the other thing that I don't know if you knew, you can see in this picture here to the right, these lady beetles will actually attach to the roof of your pet's mouth. So it is good to occasionally inspect your dog's mouth, especially if they're salivating or they're even vomiting for that fact. But if these get in there and stay in there long enough, they can actually make your dog sick. So I took a picture of this, my dog. This is my dog Dino here. I call him the great brown marmorated stink bug hunter. He causes me to lose a little bit of sleep. Ironically, you think the bug guy wouldn't have, stink bugs in his house, but I have a 100-year-old home that's got a lot of cracks and crevices around the outside of the house that these things get in. But he loves to wake me up at 2 a.m. growling at these things. I have to get up, get a paper towel, and then, discard that thing. I let him go down and see the tidy bowl man. But that's kind of how I get rid of them in my house as far as that goes. So keep an eye on that. Don't let them get to your dogs or your pets, and that'll help you kind of keep your pet from getting sick. As far as treatment, exclusion is the best form of control for these pests, all species here. As you can see in this picture here, you've got a standard home. You think about a house as far as how the temperatures escape the house. And usually the heat rises in your house, and you have a lot of heat that escapes near your gutters or the vents up above, even around some of your windows, if your windows aren't, good and solid and insulated. You even have where they can actually get through like your plumbing penetrations or your air conditioner line. Even where the siding actually meets the foundation, there's a gap there, and those insects will migrate towards that. So believe it or not, heat escapes those cracks and crevices. So getting them caulked up, making sure your screens are intact, make sure your lighting's all in good condition. There are some types of bulbs out there that won't attract this insect, but look that up whenever you're buying your exterior lighting bulbs, and that'll help you from attracting more to your home. As far as if they get inside the house, we generally don't go to the materials or the pesticides for control. We usually like to just use a vacuum or just pick them up, and that goes a long way with relieving of that pest. Now, the unfortunate part about our lovely weather here in the Midwest is that if they make it past or they penetrate into the home before we actually make our treatments, you may deal with this pest throughout the winter as we get one of those 60 or 70-degree days in December or January. These are cold-blooded insects, and they do start moving when things start warming up. So the unfortunate part is that might be into the living space, and we generally recommend removing them with the vacuum and then making sure you take that vacuum bag or canister out to the trash, and that'll help you get rid of those pests during those warmer times of the winter. So as far as materials outside, most of the time that's where our primary applications are going to be made. We like to get ahead of this pest. So we've started making applications back in August and September, even in October, we're making them to the exterior of the home, to all those potential entry points I talked about before. And we've had great success with controlling these things and keeping them from making it inside the house. With that, I'd like to thank you for attending today. Sarah, are there any questions?
Not at this time.
Okay. And hey, be on the lookout for our next webinar. That'll be towards the end of October on the 26th. We'll be talking about rodents, how do they get in and how to keep them out. So look forward to seeing you there. And we thank you for your time.